The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Monk Fantasy. They have a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 to get $50 in bonus funds when you use the promo code MLB SGPN. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It is currently Thursday afternoon, August 21st, around 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Scott Rochelle, once again joined by Dylan Rock together to break down the games for the Friday card. Dylan, how's it going with you? I know your team's playing right now.
Yeah.
The Brewers playing the Cubs earlier, so a lot of games to go, but so far a pretty interesting start to the day. How's it going with you?
I'm doing well. Bets have been doing well today. Mets are up to 3-0, so we're doing good. And happy birthday, sister Jean, 106. Crazy.
Yes, Loyola Chicago has once again. They're trying to think of what I should call her because she's not a mascot. But like, how would you
like the?
How would you describe her?
Like the chaplain, I guess, or like the captain, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll say the rallying cry.
Yeah.
The rally cry of that team. But either way, point is she's still around. She's at 106. Good for her. Looking at, once again, some of the games so far, Dodgers are killing the Rockies. Mets are up 3-0, and the Giants are up 2-0. A couple games went final, though. The Royals did win, the Brewers won, and the A's won. So there you go. Anyway, point is time to get into the games here for the Friday card. Before we get into any of the games, a reminder that we're also giving away $1,000 Circa NFL Future Bet with the phrase that pays. Submit the phrase now at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/phrase to enter the free giveaway for a chance to win a $1,000 NFL Future Bet. Anyway, starting off with the games on Friday. First game's the Rockies against the Pirates. No day games. The first game's going to be around 6:40 p.m. Eastern. For this one, Pittsburgh's about -$2. Rockies are around +170. For the over-under, I see around 8.5. So for this game, I see Sanzatella going up against Ashcraft. I'll ask you in a toilet bowl, do you want to lay $2 with Pittsburgh, or are you blindly going with the Rockies? Because why would you lay this number with the Pirates?
Yeah, I think the Pirates are too big of a favorite. I only made the Pirates a -170 favorite. I know Antonio Senzatella has been bad this year, but you know, they've been playing much better baseball than I anticipated. 7-3 in their last 10, while the Pirates are just 3-7 in their last 10. On the other side, you know, Ashcraft, I'm not a biggest fan of him either. And even in their wins, you know, the Pirates aren't scoring a ton of runs. I just trust Colorado's offense much more than I do the Pirates right now. So +172, even the +1.5 at -125. I think the Pirates are live. The Rockies are live here.
Yeah, I think I agree. I'm just looking at the spot where I'm trying to make a case for the Rockies where I think the price should be located. I definitely think it should be lower than 165. I think it should be closer to like 130, 140. So based on the number, I'll go with Colorado. Not really a strong opinion, but Ashcraft's been okay. I know Santella's been bad, but I think the Rockies can once again keep this match more competitive than people think. They went 2-1 in these series in Coors Field earlier this month, so I don't mind it. Give me the Rockies money line. I like the over, though, for the game. I can see some runs here, with the total being at 8.5. I'll go with the over for this game. Moving on to the next game on the card, I see the Nationals taking on the Phillies. Nationals, of course, are playing right now as they are down 3-1 through 4. You have Cavalli against Walker. Now, for this one, you have the Phillies massive favorites around -170. You're looking at the Nationals being around +145. Cavalli shut down the Phillies over the weekend, so we'll see if the Phillies can get revenge against them. But for the over-under in this one, total is about 9 or 9.5. So 9.5 feels kind of high to me. I kind of like the under in this game. Walker was good in the matchup against the Nationals over the weekend. Cavalli outdueled them, but the point is both guys were fine. I think this total feels kind of high. I think Philly should win the game, so I'll go with the Phillies in this one. I think the price should be higher, but I think 9.5 is pretty high for a total. I'll go with the under in this game.
Yeah, I like the under. I made my total 8.9, so I agree. I think 9.5 is just a little too high. I think the Phillies here at home, -166, -1.5 at +125. I think is a good value here. Small sample size, but Cade Cavalli did struggle in his one game on the road versus the Royals. He did pitch well in his last start, like you mentioned, versus Philly's team, but the Phillies are just playing really good right now, and I just don't expect Nationals to keep up offensively. Phillies, they've scored double-digit runs in 3 of the last 4 games. They're swinging the bat well. And I got to give credit where it's due. I like to shit on Taijuan Walker, but he has been better the last month or so. So I think he could hold him down. Like I said, I agree with the underplay, but I think the Phillies run line is worth a look.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's a good price for a team that's clearly better than the other team. Not to mention the fact that the Phillies are going to win the division.
Yeah.
They're the best team in that division, so I'll go with them. They've been rolling lately. I like the spot. I like the run line, as you said a second ago. Moving on to the Red Sox taking on the Yankees. You have Bayo against Fried. For the pricing, I see the Yankees at around minus 170. I see Bayo and the Red Sox at around plus 145. I see a 158, though, on FanDuel, so a really rogue line for Boston. For the over-under, I see 8 or 8.5. There is a juiced 8 on FanDuel, minus 122 on the over. Now, the Red Sox have been terrible lately. They can't hit. I know they ended up waiving Toro yesterday after the bases loaded double play debacle. But either way, point is the Yankees have been rolling. They've won 5 in a row. The offense has been mashing. However, Fried has not been very good lately. He has allowed at least 4 earned in 3 straight. He's allowed at least 4 earned in 4 of the last 5. Last 3 starts, 15 innings pitched, 15 earned runs. So not exactly thrilled with this price for the Yankees. I understand it because Boston's been bad lately. I prefer the over in this game. I think 8's too short. Fried, even when the Yankees won over the weekend, was not good against the Cardinals. I think the Red Sox can do some damage against them. I think Bayo could struggle too. I see a high-scoring game. Give me the over. I think 8 is pretty short for a number.
Yeah, I would agree. I made my total 9.1, especially with the way the Yankees have been swinging the bat lately. But I think the value is with the Red Sox. I only made the Yankees a minus 140 favorite. I got a plus 160 earlier in the day, but even at a plus 154, I see over on FanDuel. I think I got to go with Boston here. I know their offense for the Yankees has been on fire the past 4 games, but to be honest, I think it came down to I haven't liked what I've seen out of Max Fried this past month or so. He's given up 3+ runs in 7 of his last 8 games. Red Sox, they do mash against left-handed pitchers as well. And, I think I just trust Boston and Bellows. I trust Bello and the Boston's bullpen right now a little more than I do the Yankees. Yes, Yankees could score a run, so I agree on the over. I do think we'll see some runs, but I think the value, and you mentioned it yesterday, Red Sox always give the Yankees some trouble. So I think the value is with the Red Sox.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're looking at a spot where this line just feels too large to me. I believe every run the Yankees scored in their series against Tampa, every single run was via home run. Every run they had was a home run.
Yeah, it's insane.
So I don't know if that's sustainable. I think that if the bats cool off to some degree, they're still not playing any small ball, which is problematic, but it worked against Tampa. And the price is too big, though. I see Keon mentioning the MVP for Milwaukee in the series was Kyle Tucker, who was really bad today. Saw the ground ball out on a 3-2 count in the other batter's box. I'm not going to blame him on that double that was into the corner, because that got a bit tricky with the wind and all, but that was a double that he maybe could have had. He was really, really bad. Over the week and over the past month or so, he's been really bad. Apparently, he's injured. I think he's playing through a fracture of some kind. I forgot where. But yeah, Tucker's been kind of a mess. The question is, do the Cubs keep him or not? I don't know. Any thoughts on Tucker? Because he was great to start the season. He's been bad lately. You could argue that he's injured now. The Cubs, maybe they pay him a lot. Maybe they don't. We'll see what happens. But what do you think happens?
I was thinking earlier on, why trade for a guy like that and not sign him before the season? And I think in the beginning of the season, he was playing really well, where I was like, damn, they're really not going to sign him now. And maybe it's working to their favor. Maybe since he's playing so bad right now, maybe they could get a discounted price on Kyle Tucker. But I don't know. I thought they would have signed him early on. They waited. They still haven't signed him. I don't think they sign him at this point.
I really don't know. According to some predictions, Kyle Tucker would be worth somewhere in the realm of $500 to $600 million. At no point, even when he was raking, did I think Kyle Tucker was worth that much money. I understand that Soto got paid a ton. I think it was an overpay, but I understand that Soto's a generational hitter. I get it. Ohtani is another generational guy who the Dodgers are trying to kill by making him pitch. but separate story. In theory, he could play both ways, so I understand that angle too. Did you ever think Tucker was worth that much money? No. I always thought Tucker was going to be somewhere in the, I'd say, high 300s, low 400s, but $500 to $600 million, I just never saw that, in my opinion, valuation on Tucker.
Yeah, I saw people throw around 400, 500 million, and I was like,
I can see 4. I'm not saying I'd give him 4.
No,
I can see that, but 5 is insane.
5 is insane. I even think 4 is too much. I like Kyle Tucker. I think he's a really good player, but I think he's worth like what Francisco Lindor got. I think 325 off of 10 years. I would pay him that. Anything else?
How do you feel about that contract right now?
I don't mind it. I think he's
just asking.
I think he's, I don't want to say generational, but he's probably one of the best shortstops we've had outside of Jose Reyes. So,
yeah, that's fair.
I don't mind it.
You're also going to naturally prioritize shortstop, though, over outfield. So Lindor's also there for the glove. I know that Tucker's a good defender, too. But I don't know. It's a really weird conversation to have because the outfielders, if you want to count Ohtani as an outfielder, you don't really have to. But the point is, he got paid a ton. Judge, of course, got a lot. Soto got a ton. And now you're looking at the next group of outfielders who might think they're worth a certain amount of money.
What about like a Mookie Betts? He got like $300 million.
That's what I'm saying. You could argue that the Betts contract, they won a World Series, of course, but you could argue that Betts has kind of deteriorated a bit physically. He's played better lately, though. The question is, once you kind of reset the market for a position group, are you automatically overpaying other guys in that position group because that's what market price dictates?
Yeah.
For Tucker, I think you would be. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's worth $500 million, and I never thought he was worth that much. So, I don't know. We're going to see what happens, but there was that one offseason where all the shortstops got paid a ton of money. Yeah. You ended up seeing like Trey Turner, you saw Swanson, you saw, I'm drawing a blank on some other guys who got paid a bunch of money. I know Bogarts did. He ended up really not working out at all for San Diego. My point is, once one guy gets paid from a position and he's an elite player at that position, it resets the market. I think the Tucker contract's going to be a pretty bad deal over the course of it.
What about Vladdy?
Vladdy got a lot. So far, so good. I mean, Toronto's in first place, so I guess it's worked out. At the time, I thought it was a bit of an overpay, but I know Vlad has MVP upside, and Toronto, I mean, what's Toronto's claim to relevancy? They had nothing. Fair. So you want to make sure you have a franchise cornerstone in your building for the next 10, 15 years, and you have a Blue Jay for life. There's some marketing there. I get it. For the Cubs, though, who are in a World Series or bust type of position, at least according to the fan base every year, it's a lot of money for Tucker.
Even like Giancarlo Stanton, 13 years, 325. He's making around $25 million.
That's a very polarizing contract because he can't really play the field. He's injured all the time. But when he actually plays, he's an insanely clutch hitter, and he's been a monster in the postseason for the Yankees. Yeah. So that's kind of a weird one to evaluate because if you're paying that much money and the guy physically cannot play the outfield, is it worth that much money? It's a whole separate can of worms. Tucker can field. He's a good fielder.
Last two I'll throw out there, which I think is around what if I was the owner or GM, I would pay him. Bryce Harper and Fernando Tatis. They're both around 13, 14 years, 330 to 340.
At the time they got paid, they're playing different positions.
Yeah, that's
Tatis got paid to be a shortstop, which is why it might have seemed a bit large, and now he's turned into a very good fielder. He had a robbed home run yesterday. As for Harper, it's kind of the opposite. He was an outfielder. He had Tommy John, and now he plays some first base, some outfield, but he kind of moves around. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'll point out, not going to blame Harper or Tatis, two teams with no World Series titles with those contracts. Yeah. So we'll see what happens, but there are a lot of big contracts going around. The salary cap also does move, or I should say the amount the teams are willing to spend does move. So contracts given out when I was in college might not really reflect what the contracts are now for baseball. But I think Tucker at 500 is overpaid.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's where I'm at. I think he should get around 400. I would pay him less, but I think one team will give him 400.
Yeah, 100%.
So there you go. Moving on to the next game on the card, you have the Astros taking on the Orioles. For this one, you have McCullers against Povich. For the pricing, I see the Astros being slight dogs. They're about even money. I see the Orioles around minus 120. For the over-under, I see 9. Now, Houston can't hit right now. Having said that, McCullers has been quite bad this season. Povich, I don't like either. So I'm kind of looking at an over by default. Now, Povich, though, his last couple of outings, he has been better, I guess. He's made 3 outings coming off of the IL. It has not been very good. He has gone 16 2/3, giving up 8 earned runs. Last start, though, against Houston, 5 innings, 3 runs, 10 strikeouts. But I like the over in this game. I don't really trust either offense, but I don't like Povich. I don't like McCullers. By default, I got to go with the over.
Yeah, I think yesterday we talked about not being able to take the Astros, and I know K. Povich, really isn't a household name or someone you really want to back, but against a team that is broken offensively, I think the Orioles should win this game. My numbers made them a minus 120 favorite, so minus 112. I think that's a fair price at home for a team that's won 4 of their last 5. We all know I like to fade a pitcher coming off an injury. And, we haven't seen Lance McCullers in over a month. And even when he was pitching, he was getting lit up. So, to be honest, I was really never a Lance McCullers fan, to be honest. I don't think he's that good. So
I actually thought he was okay when he was younger. I thought he'd be a bullpen guy because I just didn't trust his arm to actually stay attached to his body for an entire season as a starter. I thought as a middle relief guy, he'd be a pretty decent 1-inning option. Personally.
Yeah, I don't mind him in the bullpen or a middle relief guy. I agree with that. I just think he never could stay healthy, and that was always his downfall. But, yeah, I think the Orioles should win this game. I think minus 112 is a very fair price, especially for an offense that's kind of found its rhythm a little bit in Baltimore. So, yeah, I'll take Baltimore on the money line.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to bet this game because I have no interest in either pitcher, but I guess it's over or pass for me.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Royals, taking on the Tigers. For this one, you have Burkert against Mize. For the pricing, Tigers are minus 160. Royals are around plus 135. For the over-under, I see around 8 or 8.5. Now, for the form, the Royals I mentioned before did win today. They've been good lately, trying to hang in there for a wild card spot. Detroit, though, has been good, too. Detroit ended up sweeping Houston. The pitching's been great, and we'll see if Mize can keep it going. Mize this season, 12-4, so he has been pretty solid his last couple of starts. He has been okay, not amazing, so we'll see. But the Tigers have won 4 straight starts that he's made. As for Burger, he's been okay. I mean, not nearly as much length as Mize, only 52 1/3 innings, but he's only given up 36 hits, a 2.75 ERA. I think this game's pretty close. I like the form both teams. Yes, Detroit's better, but the price feels kind of disrespectful to Kansas City, who have been good lately. I think 135's a pretty generous deal. Detroit should be favored, but I think that them being 130 sounds about right. 160 feels massive. Give me the Royals plus 135.
Yeah, I thought this game was tough to make a pick
I think it is too, but I don't see much value on Detroit.
Yeah, I don't either. I think both teams are playing extremely well. My numbers did make them a minus 150s. I'm seeing minus 160, like you said, so too far off my number. I can't take the Tigers here. I do think we'll see some runs, though, in this game. My total came out to 8.5. I see some 8s out there at minus 115. I don't mind an over. I like Casey Mize, and I think he's a really good pitcher, especially at home, but he has been known to give up a few runs here and there, and his last 6 starts have all gone to double digits and gone over this number. So, Detroit, they're swinging a good bat. So is Kansas City. I think both pitchers are susceptible to giving up a few runs. So I think Detroit squeaks out a high-scoring game. I think the value, if you want to take a dog, is with the Royals, but I like the over. I think the over is the play for me.
Yeah, I don't want a Royals team total over if I want to just avoid Burkert entirely. I think Kansas City can do some damage against Mize, so I'll go with that one for, once again, the matchup on Friday. Moving on to the next game, we're looking at the Blue Jays taking on the Marlins. Now, the Blue Jays lost the series to the Pirates as they ended up losing the game yesterday 2-1. For this one, though, you have Shane Bieber making his team debut and season debut against who do you have listed for Miami?
Jansen Junk.
Okay, so you have Junk listed. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but we'll go with it. So once again, Bieber is listed, but he hasn't pitched all season. I don't know what to expect. For the pricing, there is no line because we don't know who's pitching for these teams. Any thoughts? Because Toronto's going to be favored, and I think there's a massive question mark there next to Bieber. We'll see. It could be Lauer, so I don't know who's going to pitch, but I'm assuming it's going to be Bieber. I'll go with Miami. Toronto's kind of cooled off a bit lately as they lost 2 out of 3 to Pittsburgh. Miami, we know, has been okay over the last couple of months, but I do think that it's a spot where Toronto's probably laying. I don't know what to expect from whoever's pitching for either team. Give me the plus money in what I think is a pretty unpredictable game.
Yeah, mention that Pirates series. I can't believe they lost that series against the Pirates.
Well, they lost to Skeens was expected. I'm surprised they lost to Oviedo.
Yeah.
But, I mean, losing one game to Skeens is pretty par for the course.
Maybe this is a series that, maybe they'll get right against the Fish, who, they are better than. The Fish aren't playing well either, 3-7 in their last 10. I just don't like their pitching. Jason Junk, if it is him, he hasn't been good in the whole month of August.
By the way, sorry to interrupt. I see Nathan saying that Quantrill might go. He got claimed off waivers by Atlanta today, so he's not on the Marlins anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. What was Junk over the last month?
He just hasn't been good, and I just feel like this is a good spot for the Blue Jays offense to, get back on track after a disappointing series, maybe find the rhythm a little bit. We'll see how long the Blue Jays push Bieber in his first start. You got to imagine he's going to be on some sort of pitch count, but I do think obviously the Blue Jays are the better team. Hopefully the offense kind of finds itself and gets them about 4 or 5 runs of support. So if they're able to do that, I do think they'll win this game. It just all depends on what they are. I made them a minus 130 favorite, the Blue Jays. I think that's actually kind of generous, if I'm being honest, in Shane Bieber's first start, especially on the road. So we'll see, but it has to be a fair price, but I probably won't bet the game.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to either, but it depends on the number that you end up getting for Toronto, because if it's too big, I'll take Miami in this game. I do want to briefly point out, just checking the actual comment section here. I see Keon mentioning that Tucker can actually get some arbitration, so we'll see what happens, but I'm actually curious how much Tucker's worth. So we'll see what happens, but thank you for pointing that out, Keon. I didn't really account for arbitration. Either way, though, moving on, before we get into the next game on the card for Friday, a reminder that we're brought to you by MLB G. You can use them to bet on baseball, WNBA, golf, and of course football futures. They're also available in a ton of locations. Use crypto for deposits and payouts. And when you sign up for your new account, use code SGPN for a 50% deposit match up to $1K. Term and conditions apply with the G promo code SGPN. We're also brought to Rhythm because they have a nice amount of models you can build for football, either college or the NFL. Of course, you could also use them for props. For the NFL, they were very good last year with certain players. If you wanted to go for Josh Allen, for example, 15-8 on the passing props last year, 23% ROI. They also are available for baseball, WNBA, golf, and college football. You can go to the site now and build your own model. And a reminder that we have a free week trial with Rhythm by using the promo link that we have. Go to sportscampodcast.com/rhythm to get your 7-day free trial. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the first couple games on the card for Friday. Time to move on to the next game, moving on to the Mets, taking on the Braves. Now, for this one, looking at the matchup between McLean and Wentz. For the pricing, the Mets are a pick 'em right now, minus 110. Atlanta's around minus 110 as well. For the over-under, I see around 8.5 or 9. So McLean showed up and was really good. Gave up no runs in his first outing of his career. Wentz has been pretty up and down this season. However, he's been good lately. Last 2 starts, 11 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. He's allowed less than 2 earned in 3 of his last 4. First glance, I kind of like the under in this game. I think McLean can go well. I think Wentz is fine. I prefer McLean over Wentz, though, and I definitely prefer the Mets over the Braves. The Braves have been better lately, but still. I'll go with the under in this game. I think McLean can go well, and the Mets offense we know can be quite streaky. They've been pretty good lately, though. So I'll go Mets, and I'll go under.
Yeah, I know the Braves have been playing much better as of late, like you mentioned, but I still don't trust them. They're still on my do not bet list. I don't trust their pitching, and most of their recent wins, I'm no disrespect, but they're against cans. I think the Mets are in desperate need of win. They lost yesterday. Awful fucking loss. Reds took their spot now. They're in that playoff hunt. And I think Nolan, you mentioned, he pitched well in his first game for the Mets. 5 scoreless innings, only 2 hits given up against I think a pretty solid Mariners team. So
they're falling off a cliff, but still a good performance nonetheless.
And the Mets do score the ball at home. They put up 3 runs right now. Last time I looked at the game, they're hitting around 252 at home this season. I'm not the biggest Joey Wentz fan either. I made the Mets a minus 115 favorite. I see a minus 108. I'll take the short number. I do think the Mets are the better team.
That's kind of where I'm at. Just looking at the records, I question why this is a pick'em.
Yeah.
I think the Mets should be minus 120 if I had to price it myself.
Fair.
So for value, give me the Mets in this game. Moving on to the Cardinals, taking on the Rays. Now, the Rays have been really bad. I believe they've been the worst team in the league for the last month and a half, 2 months. I forgot the exact sample, but they've been really bad since the All-Star break, I think. For the Cardinals, they are 2 under. We know they're bad on the road. You have Mikolas against Hauser for this one. For the pricing, I see the Rays in this one being a favorite, a minus 130 with Hauser pitching. I see the Cardinals being plus 110. For the over-under, I see 9 in this game. Now, Mikolas, I know, has been kind of a meme on this show for years. He's been okay recently, not amazing, but either way. Point is, he can potentially battle, but he does have an ERA of 6.47 on the road. As for Hauser, he got traded to the Rays. I don't know why they acquired him, but whatever. Point is, 2.67 ERA. Since being acquired by the Rays, he was really bad in his first 2 starts, 10 2/3 and 9 earned, but last start against the Giants, 5 innings, no runs, so maybe he found something in his last outing. I'm going St. Louis, even though Mikolas is a guy who I don't trust at all. I don't really trust Hauser either. And the fact is, the Rays have been objectively horrible. They've been the worst team in the league, I think, since the All-Star break record-wise. So I'll go with the Cardinals. They're not good, but it's plus money, and I don't trust either team. If you haven't noticed, a lot of bad matchups betting-wise, in my opinion. I'm not interested in this game either. But give me the plus money.
The slate is terrible. That's when going through it, I was just like, ugh, this is terrible. Nothing I love in this game either. I probably won't bet it. Kind of like the over. You're getting plus money or even money at a 9. My total came out to 9.6. 2 pitchers I really have no faith in. Miles Mikolas has been awful on the road this season. 3-5, 6.47 ERA. Batters hitting over 300 off of him as well. 3 of his last 4 road starts flew over this number. And the Cardinals in general have been involved in a lot of high-scoring games. 4 of the last 5 games have ended in double digits. And, after a few months of good pitching from Adrian Hauser, we have seen some regression from him. He hasn't looked the best in the month of August. We have winds blowing out into center field as well. That should help us get over the number. I think we see some runs. I don't really care who wins this game, but I do think we'll see some runs, so I do like the over.
Yeah, I can go with you with the over, too, because Tampa gave up a ton of home runs against the Yankees. I think the pitching's been a problem, and the Cardinals I don't really trust either, so I don't mind the over for that game. Moving on to the Twins, taking on the White Sox. You're looking at a matchup between Matthews and Savale. For the over-under, I see it being set at around 8.5. For the money line, I see Twins minus 135, the White Sox at around plus 115. So for this game, the White Sox did manage to win the first game against the Braves in that series, did lose the other 2 games. They have lost a total of 6 of their last 7. Now, for the pitcher for Minnesota, they had a really bad series against the A's, but Matthews is going, who I'm not a fan of at all. They did get swept by the A's, lost every game by multiple runs. For this one, though, Matthews is a guy who I don't trust, and you're looking at, once again, a pitcher in Savale, who's been okay this season, but I don't really like him either. Matthews' last couple outings, he's been serviceable, not going much distance, but I really question why the Twins are laying 135 here. I get the White Sox are bad, so is Minnesota. Give me the White Sox at home at plus money. I don't mind the over in this game, but I think Savale is better than Matthews. It's a battle of 2, I'd say, below-average pitchers in my opinion, but I'll go plus money because why not?
Nathan makes a great point. I'll get to this game real quick. Ever since Wander Franco's scandal, they have never been the same. What happened to him? Is he going to federal prison, this guy?
Yeah, I thought he turned himself in.
Yeah, but did he get 5 years, 7 years?
I don't know if they ever announced the actual punishment. I forgot if he was
they
once
booked
again
him in
tried
DR.
yet.
I think they booked him in DR, right?
Yeah, he was guilty of sexual abuse, and I couldn't remember if he had a weapon on him, because I know that he was trying to evade police. I don't remember if he had a weapon on him or not. He got 2 years in prison.
Good.
That was 2 months ago. So I didn't even know that. He got 2 years
Me
in jail.
either. They brushed that under the rug.
There you go. He got 2 years in jail.
Wow. Yeah. Well,
So
I agree. I think White Sox first 5 or full game. I see plus 120. I mean, I actually don't mind the White Sox here in this game. There's no reason Matthews should be this big of a favorite.
it's a toilet bowl. I'm not going to lay this with the Twins, who have been bad too. I know the White Sox stink, but I mean, plus 20, sure, why not?
They suck. The Twins can't score. They're not scoring a bunch of runs. Whereas, White Sox are losing, but we just saw them put up double-digit runs in 2 of the last 3 games. At least they're scoring runs.
Technically, it was 9+ runs in 2 of the last 3, but close enough.
Well, didn't they score 10 and 13?
Did they get to 10? I thought they lost 10. Okay, I thought they lost 10-9, so my bad.
Yeah,
they lost 11-10 maybe. Okay,
But still, like, you trust that offense more than you trust Minnesota's right now, who's just tanking on the season. So, it's either dog or pass for me. I don't like Aaron Savali, but I think he's better than Matthews, if I'm being honest. So, I'll take the White Sox first 5+half. I think the value is with the home dog.
Yeah, I agree. Moving on to the next game, Guardians taking on the Rangers. 2 teams that are slowly watching their playoff hopes disappear. For this game, though, you have Ciccone going up against, I see Eovaldi pitching.
Yeah.
For the pricing, Texas is minus 170. I see the Guardians at around plus 145. For the over-under, I see 7.5. Now, for the run line, because you're not going to probably lay 170 with the Rangers, you can go Texas minus 1.5 at around, I see plus 126 on FanDuel right now. So we know Eovaldi's better, objectively, than Ciccone. I'm not a fan of Ciccone at all. He had a decent stretch for maybe a month. Since then, though, he's been underwhelming. The last 2 starts, 7 2/3, 18 hits allowed, 13 runs allowed. He's allowed 3+ runs in 4 straight. Even though I really don't like the price, I got to go Texas. Give me Texas first 5 minus half a run. Even though this offense I'm not a fan of, Ciccone's been quite bad. I'll back Eovaldi first 5 minus half a run.
Mets just gave up the lead. What's going on?
I know that it was 3-1 and the Nationals were threatening, and I guess Manaea fell apart.
What did I say?
Manaea fell apart. Rogers came in, though, threw 2 pitches, gave up a hit. So I'm guessing one was inherited.
Trash, too. I'm
guessing one was an inherited run.
Oh, my God. I feel you know that guy Frank the Tank who just blows up?
Yes.
I feel like him sometimes. I'm not as emotionally invested in as he is, but
they were my lock for the show yesterday, so I hope the Mets can figure it out, but that's kind of unfortunate. Didn't Manaea strike out like 7 guys in the first 3 innings today?
Yeah.
And he just completely fell apart.
He's another guy. You talk about putting him in the pen. This is the guy. Put him in the fucking pen. All right. Rangers Guardians. I'm
going first 5 run line because I'll back Eovaldi.
I'm sorry, I blacked out for a second. But yeah, first 5 Rangers. I like that play. I'm gonna take them on the run line. Plus 126. That's great value here. I know the Rangers haven't been playing the best baseball, but let's be honest, the Guardians haven't either. Coming back home, I think, for the Rangers after a long road trip, I think it's going to help them get back into the win column. It also helps when Eovaldi's pitching, who he's been absolutely nails for the Rangers this season. They've won 9 of his last 10, including 8 straight, and 7 of those 8 wins have been by 2 or more runs.
That's pretty tough when your team's falling apart, but yet you still win every start you make. It's pretty tough.
I love this guy. I don't know what it is, but this offense just wakes up when he's on the mound. And on the other side, they get Slate Ciccone, who he really hasn't been pitching that well in the month of August. I think this is just what the Rangers need. Get back in rhythm, get back in the win column. I love the Rangers here at home.
Yep. Moving on to the next game, Giants taking on the Brewers. Now, for this one, I see Wisenhunt taking on Quintana. For the pricing here, I see, looking at the actual lines here, I see Milwaukee, of course, being favored as they're about minus 164. I see the Giants at around plus 138. For the over-under, I see 8.5 juice towards the over. So the Brewers ended up, they chopped the series, right, against the Cubs?
Yeah.
They won the opener, lost doubleheader. They won the game today. So the Giants are playing right now. Verlander completely fell apart. So they are now trailing against the Padres 6-2. We know the Giants stink. Wisenhunt's not very good. Quintana I like. I know that he's a guy who doesn't have the greatest stuff. Finds a way. The last 2 starts, 12 1/3, 2 earned runs. So he's been good. And the fact is, he just finds ways to battle.
Yeah.
And I respect that. but the Giants can hit. I like Quintana. Brewers at home are insane. I think Milwaukee minus 1.5 has some value. If you want the price on that one, just trying
Plus
to quickly
132.
Yeah, because I'm assuming you agree with me. Give me the Brewers minus 1.5 plus 132.
Yeah, that's the reason I knew is because that is my play. I think they're going to bounce back. Tough series like you mentioned against the Cubs, but
it wasn't even that tough though. They ended up actually like salvaging it by winning the finale.
I guess playing offensively, they haven't. They weren't the best in that series, I'll say.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I meant. But yeah, like you said, they're a wagon at home, coming back home against a Giants team that is terrible. Not the biggest Whisenhunt fan either. I don't think he's bad, but Quintana is the much better pitcher. They should win, no problem. Plus 132. I got to take the Brewers here on the run line.
Yep. Moving on to the next game, I see the Cubs taking on the Angels in the random interleague series of the weekend. For this one, you're looking at undecided against Anderson. So we have no lines because we don't know who's pitching for Chicago. Any thoughts? Because the Cubs looked pretty decent over the past few days. Did lose the game today. They left Imanagan a bit too long. The bullpen didn't exactly work out. But either way, though, point is the Cubs have been playing better lately. The Angels, we know, are not very good. Did win the game yesterday, though. So maybe that will start something. I doubt it. Cubs will be favored, but I don't have a line. So I'm not an Anderson guy, though, so I guess I'm on the Cubs.
I made my total. I think it's Ben Brown for the Cubs.
That's not fun either.
No, so that's why I made my total 10.1. I think we'll see some runs. Tyler Anderson's not good either. And let's look at the Angels the last few games. They've been playing in a lot of high-scoring games, over 7-3. Over's been very profitable at home for Anaheim, 37-26 towards the over. You got winds blowing out as well. And Ben Brown is just a fade on the road for me. He's not good. I know he has a winning record at 4-3 on the road, but almost a 6 ERA. Batter's hitting 283 off of him as well on the road. So, yeah, I think we see a high scoring game. Like I said, I made my total 10.1 if it is Ben Brown, but I think over's the play.
I'll take the over of Brown's pitching. So I agree with you, but I'll wait to see a confirmed starter and lines before I actually make a choice on that game. Moving on to the next game, Reds taking on the Diamondbacks. For this one, you have Littell against Nelson. So the Reds, we know, are fighting for a playoff spot. The Diamondbacks keep just hanging around, I guess. They're not going to do anything in terms of playoff stuff, but they've won 2 in a row, so I guess that counts as something. For the matchup, once again, you have Nelson and Littell, 2 guys who I'm pretty lukewarm on. I think Nelson's better, but not by a ton. So you can argue they're kind of similar tier. For the actual money line, I see the Diamondbacks minus 135. The Reds are around plus 115. For the over-under, I see 9 or 8.5. I like the Reds at plus money. I mean, the Reds are the better team. I said a second ago, both pitchers I think are pretty comparable. Why is Arizona laying 135 at home? Can you explain that to me, Dylan? Because I don't get why it's 135.
I can't. I made the Reds a minus 122 favorite, so getting plus 125 or 115, excuse me. Yeah, the value is with the Reds, especially that they're fighting for a playoff spot. Arizona's really not fighting for anything.
They've been feisty, though. Gurriel seems to hit a bunch of clutch home runs by not having a great season.
One thing I agree with you, I do think Nelson is better than Zach Littell. I'll say that.
Yeah, I think that once again, it's not like that big of a discrepancy, but I think that Nelson's better. If you're asking me to pick one or the other, I'd pick Nelson.
What are your thoughts on the over? If you could still get an 8.5, I don't mind that. My total came to 9.2.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, Littell pitches to contact. Nelson, though, 2.2 ERA at home. The last 2 starts, he's gotten shelled. They're both on the road, though. But he has gone 11 2/3 and 9 earned. So I like the over, too. But for the actual pricing in itself, you could argue wrong team favored. That might be why the Diamondbacks are favored, though. It might just be because Nelson's ERA at home was insanely good. But the bullpen stinks. Yeah. So if he doesn't go much distance, it might not matter. So, yeah, give me the Reds in this game. Moving on to the Dodgers taking on the Padres in what could determine potentially the entire division. We saw the Dodgers sweep them at home about a week ago. Now the Padres can get revenge, as you got Snell going up against Darvish. So for this one, you're looking at the Dodgers being favored minus 25. I see the Padres at around plus 105. For the over-under, I see 8 in this game. So Snell was really good against the Padres over the weekend. Didn't give up a run. He went 6 innings and no runs. Only 3 strikeouts. Didn't matter, though. For Darvish, he faced off against the Dodgers. I believe it was a day later. Not very good. 4 innings, 4 runs. I'm going to go with the Dodgers in this one. I still don't trust Darvish at all. And I think that Snell, since come back from injury, has been surprisingly good. Usually Snell takes some time to find his rhythm again. He's been pretty good since coming back from the IL. So I think he's better. He just shut down this team. I don't know if you agree or disagree about Darvish, but I'm not a big fan at this stage in his career. I'll go Dodgers in this one around minus 120.
Yeah, I love the Dodgers here. This is one of my favorite plays tomorrow, minus 120. My numbers made him a minus 140 favorite. Yeah, I guess you could say Darvish has looked better at home this year, but I agree. He's still not someone I want to back. I don't feel comfortable spending my hard-earned money on him, especially when his last start was against this Dodger team and he got smoked. You know, he still gives up the long ball. Walks continue to be an issue for him. If I'm going to take the Padres here, I need a much bigger price. And you mentioned it, Blake Snell, he's clearly the better pitcher. He's only had one iffy start, and it was against the Rays, surprisingly. And I didn't even think it was all that bad. The offense just really didn't give him the run support. And offensively, I think the Dodgers have picked it up. We get there with the team total today. And they've had the Padres number recently. I think 4 of the last 5 meetings they have won. So I just think this is a great number with the better pitcher and the better offense. So I'm going to take the Dodgers here, minus 120.
Yeah, I agree. Moving on to the last game, the A's taking on the Mariners. You have Morales taking on Wu. For this one, I see no lines. Now, the A's have been really good lately. Mariners have not, but I think we'd agree Wu is better than Morales. Morales has been fine this season, 1.86 ERA. Problem is, he's gone 5 innings 1 time this season. So he also faced off against the Diamondbacks, the Orioles, and the Angels. So tough to fully evaluate if he's any good or not. We'll see. I don't have the lines, but Seattle's been really bad. I like Wu, though, so I'm kind of just stuck. I don't have a line. So you have any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I want to back the Mariners. I mean, they have been god-awful recently. My numbers did make them a minus 145 favorite, so we'll see what the number comes at. Wu is the better pitcher, but you're right. How much length are we going to get from Morales? That I think that's the biggest question. Do you really trust the A's bullpen? We'll see. They have been a little better, but they're playing the Twins. I mean, they're not good. So like you said, I just don't know what to evaluate here. We'll see. Brandon Wu, I think he's the longest pitcher to go 6 consecutive innings this year. I think every start he's gone 6+ innings.
I like him. Yeah, I think he's really good.
I do too. They just can't hit for him.
No, but I actually think the under is a sneaky play in the first 5 for this.
Yeah,
game.
I like that.
I don't mind that. Anyway, it's going to wrap it up for the games on the card for Friday. Before getting into the Lock and Dog, reminder they're brought to you by our sponsor, Circa, because they're hosting 3 of the biggest football contests for the upcoming season. They have Circa Million, Circa Survivor, Circa Rendismo, over $20 million, guaranteed prizes. And a reminder that there's the Circa contest weekend happening right now. So you hang out with SGPN guys if you are in Vegas. Live shows, open bars, plus you get a nice discount on your Circa room. 15% off your stay with the code SGP15. Contest open to everyone. Use our proxy once you sign up in Nevada. Go to footballcontest.com. Use code SGP. $50 off your proxy fees. We're also brought to you by Fantasy. The Dumbest Mania happening all summer long. 50 million in prizes. 2 men first place. No waiver wire. No trade arguments. Best ball is the best way to play fantasy football. You can also use Underdog for pick'em entries for a chance to win 500 times your entry. Sign up right now with the nice new offer that Underdog has. Play just $5 and $50 in bonus funds when you use the promo code MLB SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through all the games for the Friday card. Time to go on into the Lock and Dog picks. Dylan, what do you like as your Lock and Dog for the show?
Yeah, my lock we just talked about. I'm going to take the Dodgers here. Love this number. We're still going to fade you, Darvish. I do not like him. He just got smoked by this Dodger team his last start. Walks too many batters, and I think this offense for the Dodgers have picked it up recently. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Dodgers here at minus 120 with Blake Snell on the mound. For my dog, I did give you a couple plus money plays. I like the White Sox, the Red Sox. I'm going to take the Rangers, though. I mean, I can't get past the plus 126 with Eovaldi on the mound at home. I think this is a good bounce-back spot against a bad Guardian team. And, yeah, for whatever reason, Eovaldi, this offense just winds up hitting and scoring a bunch of runs when he's on the mound. So I think he's going to limit a very bad offense in the Guardians, and I just think the Rangers are going to win by multiple runs. So, yeah, I think they'll get to Slate Ciccone. So, yeah, give me the Rangers plus minus 1.5 at plus 126 as my dog.
Yeah, so for the lock, trying to see if there's anything I liked, because actually I might give out 2+ money plays. Just looking at the actual card. I mean, the White Sox I thought about, but I'm not going to give them out as a lock. Same thing with the Cardinals. I don't trust them enough. I like the Dodgers, too. Yeah, you know what? I'll pivot slightly. Give me Eovaldi first 5 minus half a run. I'll ignore the bullpen, but I do think that Eovaldi should outpitch Ciccone. Good enough for me. I'll give me the Rangers first 5 minus half a run as my lock. For my dog, I'll give me Quintana and the Brewers minus 1.5 at around plus 132. I think it's a great price. You're looking at Wizenhunt, who's not been very good this season. The Giants are falling apart. They're getting killed again today. Brewers salvaged the series against the Cubs, won the series finale, and the fact is they're still very good bullpen-wise, good at hitting, and I see it being a very tough matchup for the Giants. Give me the Brewers minus 1.5 at plus 132 as my dog for the show. Anyway, it's going to wrap it up for the show. Dylan, anything else you want to add?
No, I'm going to be in Florida the next few days, and I'm just going to try to enjoy it. It's my last vacation for football season, and it's grinding away. Keon says they moved the game for preseason football. Yeah, football is king. They'll do it for a preseason game. They don't care.
Yep. Sounds about right. Yeah. Anyway, point is until next time, find me on Twitter at Radio. Find him on Twitter at Rock2Ks24. I'll be back in the morning with Adam for the props. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon with Alante for the Saturday games. Till next time, good luck to all of you and all of your bets. Bye, everyone.